They'll always be jealous of your results, but never jealous of the work it took to get there. I can assure you, every single thing you've done to get to this point, whatever skill you're trying to acquire, and how far you've gotten, there's always going to be people jealous. Yeah, you have to understand that. They're never going to be jealous of what you had to do, though. Never. And the reason I say they're never going to be jealous of the work it took is because of the things they say to downplay your success and your results. They will often say things like gifted, lucky, genetics, just a rich family, just a gift. They'll use words as vocal fillers to sort of downplay the work it took for you to get there. We can say all we want about being chosen, being born for something, having gifts, talents, whatever the case may be. Why is it that the work, the hours, the dedication, attention to detail, determination, discipline, mentality, why aren't those things talked about as much as gifted, lucky, genetics, just you're just black? Whatever things people use to press the easy button to display their own insecurities within themselves. Why isn't that talked about more? Why isn't the qualities you need as a person, the things that were required for you to do the work for that long to get that result, talked about more? Instead, it's almost a thing of luck. You're lucky, right? They're always going to be jealous of what you have, but never jealous about what it takes to get there, right? Very few people are willing to do what it takes to get results. That's just a fact. Having a good physique, it takes work, it takes years, effort. Okay? I don't care about the anomalies out there. I care about what I had to do, right? I had to have basic knowledge of nutrition, macros, calories in, calories out, how to carb cycle, how to incorporate different types of cardio to stay lean all year, strength training, doing my compound list, bench squat, deadlift, overhead press, pull ups. I'm even including pull ups in there. Making sure that I have the split that focuses on hypertrophy, strength, and sometimes muscle endurance. And switching what I'm doing every 6 to give or take 14 weeks. It takes an extreme amount of attention and detail to do that kind of thing for a long period of time without stop. But people don't talk about that. They want to talk about your genetics. They want to talk about things that are not in your control to feel better about them being lazy. That's what it comes down to. The reason I can say that is because I've trained hundreds and hundreds of people, and I've seen people lose 80 pounds, 60 pounds, 20 pounds. I've seen people go from skinny to jacked, from fat to having abs. So I see what people have done. I see what I've done myself, and I can also say people are jealous of your results, but never jealous of the work it took. Never. Never. We need spectators. We need an audience. We need people to be in the crowd watching us cheering on. It's okay to be there, but it's not okay to try to diminish what the performer had to do to get to that place. That's the thing. So if you're right now a performer, do not feel bad. Do not feel any type of way because that's what it is. And you cannot be mad at these people because it's just ignorance. It's just ignorance to what is required, ignorance to how much dedication it takes. And very few people are willing to do the work. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I've learned this over the past, give or take, 4 years. You can learn basically anything you apply yourself to. Basically anything. If you're willing to put 1,000 hours in that thing, you can learn it. A year, an hour a day is 365 hours. It takes like maybe 2 years to the point you're really good at that thing and far above the average. Okay? If you want to compare yourself to like Einstein and people of that caliber, I can understand why people say dumb things like gifted and all that. But if you want to be better than the average, it's possible. In 300 to between 300 to 1,000 hours is possible. A couple of hours, 1 hour a day for a whole year. Or if you can cut that down to 30 minutes a day for a couple of years, you'll be better than the average. Even 30 minutes a day for a whole year, you'll be far better than the average. I can promise you that. In whatever you want to do. In drawing. Okay, I can draw pictures like this now. Not to brag. This is not complete. This is not complete. But I can draw pictures like that. Committed 1 year plus. So I would say it's been over 500 days of drawing every single day, a couple of minutes a day, to the point you draw pictures and people think you're photoshopping it. They're jealous of what you have, but not what it took to get there. The same thing with the languages. I can speak Portuguese and French right now, and I'm working on Spanish and German, right? Okay. It doesn't stop there. As human beings, we have something powerful. This thing right here. If you learn one thing, it's possible to learn another thing. But the thing that's required is time, effort. It's possible. It's possible. Don't let people tell you you need to be born to do it. I'll say this: two different people start at different points. That other person may not need to work as hard. Okay, that's true. But if you know that, use that information to your advantage. Somebody that's 6'8" is more likely to dunk a basketball than somebody that's 5'9". Guess what? I can dunk a basketball, and a lot of 6'8" guys on this planet can't. Am I gonna go out here and say you're gifted, you're tall, blah blah blah? I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. All I know is I want to dunk, and what is it gonna take? Oh, it's gonna take a jump program. I'm gonna have to make a program for strength and conditioning that focuses on explosiveness, power, and strength. By doing that for give or take a couple of years, I'll be able to get my vertical up to between 35 to 40 inches to be able to dunk a basketball. My wingspan is about I can reach up to about 7 feet, so I need about 3 feet in the air, which is about 12 times 3, 36 inches. That is how you do it. That you break down what you need to do, you program, and then you do the work required. I cannot be gifted in everything, folks. I know how to take something, break it down to pieces, and do what is required to catch up. My whole life is about catching up to people. Catching up. I failed preschool. I failed preschool because I couldn't speak. I couldn't do anything the other kids could do. But guess what? I'm just as good as anyone out there right now. So that past doesn't matter because I had to catch up. That's the thing. They're always going to be jealous of what you have, but never jealous of the work it took to get there. My whole life is about catching up. But guess what? I don't need to know more. And now I want to push ahead, right? In many different ways. Not just fitness, not just speaking, drawing, languages, in a multitude of ways. And you owe that to yourself being here because you're meant for more. You're meant for more. If I can be a word of inspiration, I I encourage you to be curious about things, learn more. Don't limit yourself. Because remember, they are jealous of what you have, but not jealous of the work it took to get there. That's it for the video. Make sure to share this to somebody that needs it. Like always, get better every day, optimize yourself. I'll see you next video. God bless.